Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Stoverload Music Podcast. And if you can't tell by now, my show is dedicated and geared to supporting independent bands. Because in my personal opinion, the best music is there, not in the mainstream. Anyways, today I'm bringing you guys another badass band. Now, if you've been following my show, my most recent show on Dark Haven Radio, we had a band open the show that set the tone. It set the level, the vibe for everything, and they didn't disappoint. You might know this band from some of their greatest songs like Curtain Call, Chase You Down and Destroy You, all which are amazing, amazing tracks that's on their EP that just dropped today, Wrapped in Chains Part 1. I want you to give it up and show a lot of love for Billings, Montana's very own Myths of War. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks.
You excited, man? Today was the EP drop. How's it going?
Going good, man. You know, we got the nerves, but we're stoked.
Well, you've done enough shows. I have to assume you're ready for tonight.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we game plan prepared, but it's always a monster to tackle. But we're ready and we're excited and we're stoked.
Oh, I wish I was there because I really love your guys' music. And my personal favorite was Destroy You. That's just a fun song to rock to.
Thank you. That song right there was actually our very first song that we ever made together.
Really?
Yeah.
So did that song and the direction of that song help define what you wanted the rest of the album to sound like, or was it just a track by track thing?
Well, in a lot of ways, you know, we weren't a full band when we started writing that song, and we really didn't know the direction that it was going to go until we got us all together and we got Nick, our singer, and he really set the tone for what Midst of War was going to sound like, and really gave us our sound. So we wrote that song around what he was bringing to the table as a singer, and then we just went from there and trying to release bangers, you know.
Well, you're definitely not on the wrong path because the other two tracks, Chase You Down and Curtain Call, are just as badass.
Thank you very much.
Now, for our fans and for all the new listeners out there, the name Myths of War, how did you guys come about with that name for the band?
So it was actually so there's a painting. We took our first band photos in a little town called Livingston. It's about 90 miles west of here, and there's a big mural painted underneath the bridge, and it says, "In the midst of war, we shall endure." And the name just midst of war just kind of stuck.
It's very fitting for a band in the music scene because the music scene isn't the way it used to be, say 20, 30 years ago. So it's very fitting.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, one thing I'll say too with this band is, you know, we're all roughly the same age, we're about 30, but we got to live through a whole lot of different genre changes and whatnot, and that pretty much shaped a lot of our sound too, you know.
I am curious because I'm glad you said that because as I was listening, I kind of have this habit of when I listen to a band, who do they remind me of? What comes to mind? And when I was listening to your guys' work, I was hearing, in my mind, I was thinking a lot of Skid Row and Alice Cooper, and Alice Cooper's vocals being for you, Nick.
Oh, well, thank you. I grew up on Alice Cooper. I love Alice Cooper, and probably I've been to a lot of concerts in my life, but that was probably at least my top 3 best ones I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's what was coming to mind. And, you know, I just can't wait to hear what the rest of this EP has in store for us. For a lot of the new listeners, they're probably going to want to know where they can buy the EP. And I emphasize buy because streaming apps seem to damage bands who are releasing their first album. So I'm curious where you guys stand on that.
Well, I can kind of speak. We're working on that. You know, it's kind of a new area for us. It will be on the streaming app, Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. It'll be on all those places. As far as buying the album, that's something we're working with our producer with to really dial that in on a professional scale. It's just one of them things that, you know, we're a little newer at this, especially with the modern ways of getting the music out there, rather than having a CD that you try to get to sell at your local store, or you know. So we're learning as we go.
You'll get it. Good music speaks for itself. We say that very loudly and very proudly on our show. And I have no doubt in my mind that its album's going to blow up. And once enough people start catching it, you're going to have a hard time keeping up.
I hope so. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a good problem to have. So I'm curious because you guys obviously you know what you're doing. You've done a lot of shows. What's been like your defining moment to where you knew like, hey, this band's really got something. We got something good going here. The fans love it. What was your first moment where you saw the fans were really responding?
Oof. I think
Go ahead. That's a tough question.
for me, I think it was our very first show. You know, we were brand new, the five of us. You know, new lineup, didn't know really what to expect, and I think by the second or third song in, we knew it was driving with people. You know, that's a big thing. You never really know if people, you know, what you expect when you're going in play a show, but the response was good, and I think we knew right there. And I mean, we waited a long time between forming this band to play our first show, so we're all our own worst critics, obviously, but we were skeptical. But yeah, that first show, I think we knew as soon as we leaned into the second or third song, we were like, all right, this is something people dig, you know.
That's pretty cool. And I love hearing those stories about how when fans really start taking to something for the first time. What's been the craziest moment you guys gotten out of a show from the fans?
Dustin's got it here.
No, I'm trying to.
There we go with the song.
Well, the guy in the middle's been quiet this whole time. Maybe he could tell us.
Yeah, I really, it's hard to describe. I mean, we've been, we played our first show in January, and I mean, everything's just kind of been flowing smooth. But every time we show people like a little snippet or a clip of something that we've been working on, it's been, I mean, we get an astounding everybody just loves it. They're like, hey, I want to hear more. I want to hear more. It's like, hey, we're working on it. It's like, it's a tough process, but it's been a fun road this year just to, bring us to this point and this time that, we're going to be tonight bringing out some new songs that nobody's ever heard yet. So, we'll see how kind of those treat the crowd. So
For everybody that's going to be at that show, just know I'm very jealous of you because I won't be able to be there to hear these new songs. So you better enjoy it.
oh, yeah.
I think, like going back to your question too, as far as the craziest, all of us, do our own promoting and run our own pages and whatnot. We're, try to get going. We don't have a person for that, so we see the messages that come in and whatnot. And I know one time Dustin got a message from a gal and liked our music, and she said, "Well, do you guys have any T-shirts yet?" And this was early on in this whole thing. We said, "Well, no," and the gal responded back. She's like, "Well, can I like buy some of your underwear or your socks or something?" I think that would probably be the craziest for me.
Yeah, she wanted something that any of us had worn, and she told me anything that we've worn, I don't care if it's your old dirty socks. There's a compliment in there somewhere. It's pretty. Never had that request before.
Might have been a little bit more morbid if they asked you to sign a jock strap or something like that.
Yeah.
But hey, these are probably things you're going to have to expect to happen because you guys put out some really good music, and good music really is the difference maker because the world is just plain crazy. Everything is nutty. Every time you turn on the TV or walk out the house, I mean, music is the one thing that's getting everybody through the nuttiness. So hey, I think we all owe you a thank you for great music to help us escape the crazy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
100% agree with that. Thank you.
It's guys like you too for putting that out there. Thank you.
It ain't about me, man. It's all about you guys. I'm just the middleman. I am curious though, because how did you guys get through the pandemic? Were you guys all off doing your own thing during that time, or were you just starting to come together?
I know I was working. I think most of us were. We were lucky enough to have jobs that we still were able to kind of work through and keep pushing and making money so that we can fund this and try to make this our new job.
Yeah, that really hits it on the head. We worked through the whole thing, did what we could. It was pretty hard time for everybody, and a lot harder time for people outside of us. But yeah, we got through it and kept the brotherhood and project alive.
Well, the brotherhood definitely probably made a huge difference in all of it.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
How is the music scene in Billings, Montana? I mean, is there a lot of opportunity there for you guys and other bands to still get gigs and do shows, or has it still been trying to recover.
It's getting better.
Yeah, I mean it's like it's going through, and there's a lot of places that really try to push local music as much as they can. I mean, we have one place that just tries and tries, just like every little thing, like even on their speakers in the bar, it's just local music. That's all they want. And I mean, having a decent stage and a good crowd, good community to kind of wrap yourself around. Yeah, we're right in the wheelhouse.
That's amazing to hear because I'm in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I've never heard of any place up here doing that. We only have like 2 places up here where bands can play. We have nothing for independent or small little venues. So I envy you guys in the town that you're in because I love shows like that. The independent little bands and local bands are the best ones to go see.
Yeah, we agree. Sometimes you find a hidden gem somewhere, in a spot where you weren't looking for, and not to say that we are that, but I hope we are eventually. But yeah, Billings isn't really a music mecca by any means, but it's starting to really build and become a scene, and we're fortunate to get that wave.
Well, you're going to be surprised because eventually you're going to start getting contacted by fans, and your music is going to make a huge difference in their life. And maybe like a year or 2 from now, in the next show or interview you're doing, you're going to have stories about that.
No, that's the dream. I mean, that's what we're going for, and I think I can speak for everybody here that we play music because we love playing music, and we do it because we want to make somebody else's day just a little bit better, even if we don't know that we did it. So that's our goal. Did somebody wake up on a bad day, they listen to Midst the War album, and they're having a better day. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, music has a tendency to do that. And I said this earlier, and to the gentleman who had the gender reveal, big congratulations. And I was thinking about something fun for your show, something that's never been done, and you could have used this tonight at your celebration, was filled the drum snare up with whatever color powder it was supposed to be. And when the drummer blows it out, well, there you go.
I should have talked to you a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I have done that on the first song because we start the set with Destroy You. So
That'll be a
that-
moment the fans will never forget. That'll be the first time ever. Everybody's walking out looking like a Smurf if it's a boy.
I can dig up the snow with the powder and then we can try it.
Well, hey, we never run out of ideas on this show.
That's good. Keep it fresh.
Yeah, well, hey, it's all about having fun too. So that being said, we're at a point in the show right now. We do a little something special. We call it The Floor is Yours. And this is for each and every one of you. If you guys had something you'd like to say to somebody new or somebody that's been a current fan or anybody listening right now, what would you like to tell them?
That is very good. We were not ready for that one.
No,
I would say for me personally, it's somebody that was maybe somebody trying to start a band or pursue that route. Patience is a virtue. I mean, it takes a long time. The 5 of us have all been through different bands and whatnot. Some mediocre, some not so good, some pretty good, but musicians are also a pain in the ass too. So it's hard you got 5 different personalities. Well, whatever your band makeup is, 4, 3, 4, 5. I would just say stick it out eventually. I mean, I don't know how I feel about fate, but things happen to those who wait.
yeah, I could add on to that too and say, find people that you're going to get together with, that you could sit down and have dinner with your family and it'd be comfortable. People that are good at hang that you can spend time with and not want to kill each other, and the music will come later. You gotta be able to get along and work together as a unit, because at the end of the day, it becomes a family. So that'd be my advice.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just keep building on that. Like, I mean, when we're together, I mean, it feels like a whole different family for us. I mean, when we're all together, because we give each other crap. We have some really fun times, and that's all what it's about. But more than all of everything, we want to inspire people to do the same thing. Hanging out with your friends, hanging out with just random people, start doing something, start a project, anything. and you never know what's going to come of it.
Yeah, to piggyback on what they were saying, brotherhood is a big part of any group, and it's really hard to find that. But you get yourself a good bunch of guys together, that's all you need. And anyone that's trying to be in a band or digging what we're doing, I mean, the way that we did it is we just stuck together. Even though if we hate each other sometimes, we still stick through it because we know we got each other's backs. And I think you just gotta keep rolling with the punches, no matter how hard things get.
Yeah, I would also say, it is along with that brotherhood thing. I mean, hey, how we doing?
Welcome to the show.
We all get together, and sometimes you're gonna have those moments where you just, you're at each other's throats, and you just got to keep going through that, because if you got a good group of buds behind you, it all comes around, and we're here to help each other out. And of course, anybody that's wanting to start something new, I'd say just keep doing what you're doing. You know what you like, people will follow. There's a ton of people that hate all the time, but if you like what you're doing, just keep doing it. Somebody will dig it.
Ain't that the truth? And for all the new fans and all the new listeners who are watching, besides the ones who are coming to your show tonight, if they wanted to follow and interact and be able to keep tabs up to date with Myths of War, how can they do that?
Facebook is probably the best place right now. I actually run that page. I try to be as interactive as possible. Doesn't matter who you are, I'll always answer you. It might take me a minute because we still do workday jobs. But yeah, Facebook's the best place. Instagram, I mean, we're on every platform, but I use the Facebook the most myself.
Cool. No website yet, or that's still under process?
Still working on that one.
Yeah.
Everything's got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Well, guys, we know you got a show to do tonight. I'm about to tell you, Nick, just go and stand behind the other guys. Get in a good big group hug if you wanted to. I don't care. Just stay in the frame.
Definitely.
Like I said, we like to have fun on here. But guys, I know you got a show to do, so we thank you for taking the time out for a little bit to talk about the EP drop today. Congratulations. That's amazing. I hope you guys make a ton of money and do great and sell out places everywhere.
Well, we appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for what you do, sir.
Well, it's not a problem. Like I said, before my show closes out, I'm honored to have you guys on here before we go. So it's definitely been a treat for me. So till then, fans, this has been a special we had with Myths of War, and they told you how to find them, Facebook. But go find their music, and please, by all means, when that album drops, go get it. Don't settle for streaming apps. When it becomes a hard copy, buy it. It's worth it. I always say it's not a reality unless it's in your hand. Until then, as I always say, all good things must come to an end. This has been my most awesome badass guest, the Myths of War. I'm your host, Mike Stover. I'll see you guys soon. Guys, congratulations once again. Rock out tonight.
Thanks,
Thanks,
buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
That's all we got, fans. I'll see you soon. Peace.
All right, thank you.